2011. If you've watched the news at all, you've probably seen the huge snow and ice storm that has came through the South. And as you know, I'm from the South. Not going to say exactly where, maybe in the future that'll be necessary, but this ice storm covered a great deal of the South. And in the state where I'm at, I live kind of in the northern half, and the brunt of that severe icy and snow precipitation that we rarely see here in the South went down in the southern part of the state. And as a matter of fact, there were people out on the roadways on the interstate that were stranded in their vehicles. 18-wheelers had jackknifed, roads got really bad. The crews here in the South are not prepared for this kind of weather. And for whatever reason, people were stranded in their vehicles from 4 and 5 p.m. to the morning hours and even afternoon hours the following day. People are stranded inside their vehicle, no food, no water, nothing, and nowhere to go. And as we're watching this on the news, I say to my wife, finally, a great example of why I do the things I do. This bag stays in the vehicle. And this is not really what I would call a bug out bag or even a survival bag, although it very much can be a survival bag, depending on the situation that you're trying to survive. And in that situation there, if those people would have had this bag, they would have been good to go for the 24 hours, 48 hours, whatever it might have been that they were stranded. They would have had some things in this bag. They probably would have wished that they had this bag. So anyway, I'm going to get on with it here and just kind of show you, not real in depth, but kind of quickly, what I keep in my bag. Once again, this stays in my vehicle just for an emergency such as what happened in the South with this ice and snowstorm. And this bag's kind of big. I mean, it's really not big, but it's kind of big for the frame of this camera. So I'm going to try to keep it in frame as much as I can. And we'll just start here in this pouch. And I have a couple of these little two-way radios. And these have different channels on them. You can have these if you need them for a little communication. Cell phone towers in some kind of catastrophe may not be working. These little two-way radios might be all you have to communicate with your loved ones or whoever. And I don't know if you can see. Here we go. This got a little bottom pouch here. And in here I just keep some zip ties and a few rubber bands. Keep those down in there. You'd be surprised how many times, throughout the week or month or whatever it is that I actually go and get stuff out of this bag. It's not, like I said, not just a survival bag. This stays in my vehicle, and I go out from time to time and get things out of here that I need. And zip ties and rubber bands come in handy quite a bit for me anyway. Your mileage may vary. That's my nothing fancy tribute for the video. This is just a cheapo little flashlight, but it works, and it fits perfectly in this little pocket. So, a little cheap flashlight. I've always got a mag light in the truck, and I've always got a pin light on my person, but hey, the flashlight can't hurt, right? Just your, regular old pilot pin here in this little pouch. And on this side, keep a good little folder. This is a Benchmade Griptilian, half serrated version, and this knife stays in the bag until I need it, and then it's always sharp and ready to perform whatever I need it to do. Now this bag has places here on the sides for water bottles or whatever you want to put there. I do not keep water in my bag actually because, and I'm going to see if I can fit this in frame. I keep 2 of these behind the seat in my truck. And these are half-pint bottles of water. There's 12 in a pack, so I've got 24 of these that are always in my truck. So those stay behind the seat, so that's why you won't see any water in this bag. Now, if I flip this bag around, I'm trying to keep it in frame here. You guys have probably seen these bags in other people's, bug out bags. They make a great bug out bag, or a range bag, a tactical bag, whatever. I won't review the bag, but anyway, it's a great bag. And here I've just got, this is just a digital camera. Not going to get it out. You've seen cameras before, but might need to take a nice picture of something. Here I keep, this is just a charger for the iPhone, little car charger. And I keep a little Bic lighter here. And in this pocket, and this is just a spare cell phone. And I actually have a plan for this phone that I have through the AT&T's, my carrier. And I could add a line for $10. So I did. And this was just an old phone that we had. This is always charged, always ready to go. For some reason my other phone dies and I can't charge it. I know I've always got a spare phone. And in this pouch, excuse me, this is my multi-tool, the Leatherman Charge. I'm a big multi-tool guy, and Leatherman's the best, in my opinion. It's got, this multi-tool's been reviewed by many people many times, so I'm not going to do a review of the multi-tool, but it has lots of capabilities, and I go to it quite a bit, and it stays right here in this pouch in the bag. And that's for, I carry the Juice SC2 on my person every day as part of my EDC if you watch that video, but sometimes you do need maybe a bigger set of pliers, or like say the saw that's in this, or the file that's not in the smaller multi-tool, so I keep that in there for that. Now into the inside contents of the bag. And the first thing here, this is my first aid kit. This is just a basic first aid kit. There's no quick clot, nothing for stopping massive amounts of blood. I'm going to try to get to a hospital if I've got an emergency like that. I don't know if I'll be able to show you all this or not in frame, but it's got a little area here at the bottom that I keep just my basic medications, Tums and Tylenol, ibuprofen. There's BC powder in there. Ice pack, quick ice pack in there. And then it's got this little middle section here. I keep latex gloves, masks, that kind of thing. And then it's got this little zipper pouch. Yes, I know it says Strong Moms. Hey, this thing was free. It works perfectly. I'm going to use it. I don't care if it says Strong Moms or not. It works for me. In this pouch I've got mostly Band-Aids, gauze, and that kind of thing. So, just your basic, average first aid kit. Nothing too impressive in here, but it rolls up into this nice little package and stores pretty good in my bag. So, I like it. Works for me. I've got some beef jerky, a little protein there. And this is my main food bag. And I've got granola bars, energy bars, I've got crackers, I've got almonds, I've got peanut butter, I've got tuna fish packets in here. So really, for my wife and myself, this is going to be able to, we're going to be able to survive on this for several days if we have to. And like I said, those people stranded on the interstate, I bet they were wishing they had thought ahead and had a little bag set up like this of stuff to eat while they were stranded out on that cold interstate. And what else here? Just got a pair of gloves. Nice. These are mechanics wear. They're impact gloves, and they're warm. The fingers are flexible. Got a lot of good use out of those. I've got just a notepad here. Never know when you might need to write something down. I've got a roll of duct tape. Comes in very handy. Eyeglasses. I wear contacts, but how things can happen with contacts. So I'm double prepared here. I've got 2 extra contacts and I've got my eyeglasses. So if something happens with the contacts in my eyes, I've got spares, and then I can always go to the glasses if I have to. But keep those in there. I've got a little cheapo ice scraper. Like I said, don't get ice and snow that much in the south, but when we do, we are not prepared for it. I'm trying to break the mold. I'm trying to be prepared for that winter weather. Seems like the last few years we've been getting more and more of it. I've got a little hand sanitizer. Always good to have good clean hands, prevent germs and bacteria from spreading. I've got a little bug spray here. That we do need in the south, I can promise you. And some sunscreen. So a few wintertime items in there, a few summertime items, but you never know what you're going to encounter, so I like to be prepared for whatever. And just one last little thing in here. This is inside the bag on this little tie off here. I've got on a little carabiner spare house key. So if for some reason I lose my house keys, which by the way I never do, I've got another spare house key here, so I can always get into my house if I have to. So that is it. That and the water that I showed you earlier, that is basically everything that's in my vehicle, so it's with me everywhere I go. And I like to be prepared. I bet those people that were on that icy road, stuck overnight, 24 hours plus, during that ice and snowstorm, I bet they were wishing they'd had rigged something up like this. So if you haven't, now's a great time. Go ahead and get you a little bag and just throw your necessities in there, just things you think you need. You know, it doesn't have to be exactly what's in mine. There's plenty of great videos on YouTube of, you know, things like this. So one other thing I forgot to mention, if you look here at the table, this blanket that I have draped over this table to give you a nice pretty background to look at, it actually rolls up and has a little nylon strap that goes around it, and it clips into place, and it makes this nice little compact rolled up blanket that also stays in my truck. So I've got a blanket in there as well. Just one of the things that I missed. I'll try to stick this in there somewhere. But anyway, I think I'm getting close to my time constraint limit here, so CS Rob, thanks for watching the videos, guys. Feel free to post your comments, questions, and whatever down there, and I'll get with you as soon as I can on it. Hey, thanks for watching again, guys. Appreciate it.